Am I the asshole for being annoyed over a cabana? So I, F35, am currently on holiday at a resort with my friend, F35, who I love dearly. At the hotel, there are a few coveted cabanas that are first come, first served. This morning I got up early and forewent breakfast, hoping to get one for us. All already were reserved with towels. The pool manager comes and I ask him about it, because they have signs all over that if the cabana is unoccupied for more than 30 minutes, they will remove your stuff so someone else can use it. The manager tells me everyone came down at 6 a.m., put down their towels, and went back to bed. It is around 8, so I ask him if that means they should be free now, because of the 30-minute rule. He agrees and frees one up for us. I lie down, my friend joins me, and I tell her the story. We agree that should someone come and try to claim it, we will show them the sign and point them to the manager. An hour later, a woman comes up and says we're in her cabana. I tell her that the manager freed it up for us because of the 30-minute rule, but she calls the manager over, who tells us we can switch to the next one, which has also now been empty for 3 hours. The woman says no, her friend is reserving that one. I am a bit annoyed at that point and say again, well, there's a rule, and I don't think it's fair we have to move. My friend then chimes in and says it's fine, we will leave. I accept, I don't want to argue further. We pack our stuff, and then my friend walks up to the woman and apologizes. She says the manager said it's okay. We're really sorry, we didn't know it was occupied. The woman says it's okay and shoots me a dirty look. My friend and I are now at a different spot with regular sun lounger, and I'm trying to get back to regular happy holiday mood, but I'm honestly hurt that she didn't have my back. She says I am ruining our vacation by being so silent, and I get her point, but I'm trying really hard to not feel hurt. I feel she cared more about that lady she will never see again not being mad at her than supporting me. And even though it shouldn't matter, it feels like I am the angry black lady while my white friend is the good one. On the other hand, I understand it's stupid to be mad about a thing with a fucking cabana. I know I will calm down in a bit, but am I the asshole for needing some space and time to get over feeling unsupported? Sorry that this was longer than I thought it would be. Edit. Thought I'd give you a quick update. I am thankful for all your comments. I just read all of them. So my friend and I talked it out. I told her I was hurt by her not having my back, and she apologized and explained that this confrontation was just very uncomfortable for her. Some of you clocked it. She is in general rather conflict averse, and she would have much rather not been in the cabana than having to potentially deal with a guest. I told her I understand this, but I wished she had communicated this clearly to me. I would have left with her long before the lady came, because I think us enjoying the day is more important than having the softest bed around the pool. She understands why her apologizing felt like throwing me under the bus. Please don't think of her as a bad friend from this one interaction. You are only getting my POV, and also she has been a great friend to me for 12 years and is amazing in many, many ways. We go on holiday together every year, and this is the first time we had any issue with each other. So in summary, we are good and spent a nice day on the sun lounger. Crazy to me was, the cabana lady actually walked up to us around noon and apologized. She said she hadn't known about the rule, apologized for how angry she was, and said she should have handled it better. She then came up again later and told us a cabana just freed up and they're holding it for us. We told her no need, thanks, but that it's really sweet of her. So sometimes people can really surprise you, and I am very happy about how the rest of the day went. So thanks, Reddit. I'll toast to you with my next cocktail. Not the asshole. The hotel clearly has an issue with this happening, or they wouldn't have the rule in place. The lady is the asshole for trying to pull this. Your friend is the asshole for giving in when the lady was clearly in the wrong. That being said, I think you should speak to your friend and tell her you were hurt she didn't have your back. Once you clear the air, drop it, and enjoy the rest of your vacation. Man, if the resort would stick to its own rules, everybody's equilibrium could reset. The reserved towels get collected after 30 minutes. The manager should have directed the latecomer elsewhere, not you. Entitlement would dissipate and fairness has half a chance of being restored. And absolutely your friend should have had your back. Not the asshole. This is 100% management's fault. They have a rule for this very reason. You did the correct thing and notified management and got the approval from them. Management had no business telling you to move one over. Why does her friend need her own cabana? When it really is the late person that management had already agreed had lost the right to the cabana, get to stay in your cabana. About your friend, she should have had a bit more backbone. but some people hate conflict while on vacation. She gets a sucks, if not asshole vote. I'd be super annoyed too. I always have to be the bad guy too, and then my friends or even my fiancé is like, oh, it's okay, it's not that big a deal. And I'm like, well, it was a big deal 5 minutes ago when you were just talking to me, and now that we're in front of strangers, you're all generous and easygoing. Please. Not the asshole. Your friend should have had your back, and significant other should the manager. Not the asshole. The people who reserve the cabanas like that are assholes. Your friend is a pushover. You are normal. Why was she apologizing so hard to the woman? That woman didn't do anything to deserve an apology. She was being entitled. Why did your friend feel the need to be like that? Moving for her is one thing, but that's ridiculous. I'd be pissed off too. Not the asshole. Your friend absolutely sold you out for no reason. Am I the asshole for telling my friend he's insecure and not factually correct? For years, I've 21F, had to deal with my mate from school, 21M, talk incessantly about how unattractive he is. He is not unattractive in the slightest, as he is muscular, lean, and overall good-looking. We got into an argument a few days ago because despite me asking him to not bring the topic up again, he once again started on his rant. However, this time, he presented all sorts of evidence, quoted here. I don't have colored eyes, I'm not tall at all, am not white, I don't have naturally perfect sitting curly hair, it's just curly, am not big, am not super muscular. After he texted me that, I told him that his entire argument reeks of insecurity. He started flipping out and told me that everything he mentioned proves he doesn't fit into the conventional standards of beauty, and he's just being realistic. He's not insecure in the slightest, and him acknowledging his flaws is actually him knowing his value. I tried to explain to him that conventional beauty standards differ from person to person and are completely opinion-based, and he shot me down and told me that he's simply being realistic, once again. I told him that he needs to fix his delusion and realize that his realistic mindset is actually just him being incredibly insecure, or else I don't want to talk to him anymore, because he couldn't even respect the fact I asked him not to bring the topic up again. He texted all of our friends, and they're telling me that I needed to be nicer to him because, even in their opinions, he's just suffering from insecurity, and losing a long-time friend will make matters worse for him. Not the asshole, he's internalized a lot of toxic incel rhetoric, and is regurgitating it all over you. It's not your responsibility to be his emotional support person. He's 100% bought into red pill/incel culture. Not the asshole. Over time, having an insecure friend constantly monologue about reasons for their insecurity just gets tedious. You're not a therapist. If you've grown tired of the constant complaints, withdrawing from contact is a natural response. You might give one last try by strongly suggesting professional therapy before you throw in the towel. He texted all of our friends, and they're telling me that I needed to be nicer to him because, even in their opinions, he's just suffering from insecurity, and losing a long-time friend will make matters worse for him. It's not your job to hold up insecure guilt trippers. Throwing a non-stop pity party is one of the most obnoxious fucking things imaginable. And funnily enough, you really don't have to give in to his emotional blackmail. Oh, losing my friend would make things worse for me. Well, maybe stop whining constantly, and you can keep the next one. Not the asshole. Friend, he's about to get way worse. He doesn't want help, he wants female attention and coddling. Dude is definitely about to tumble down the incel slope. It's not your job to be his emotional support animal. Cut him loose. Women don't need that shitty bigoted energy in their lives. Not the asshole. He seems to have body dysmorphia. You can't validate his opinion, so you are really stuck. AITA for asking a friend to stop insisting I'm autistic? Throwaway because they follow my main account. For some context, while growing up my mother would always insist that something was wrong with me mentally growing up. This spanned from when I was about 8 until I was 17. Most of my childhood was spent seeing different therapists, doctors, and psychiatrists. She did turn out to be right that there was something. I was formally diagnosed with OCD and ADHD at different points, and I was screened for autism twice, but it was determined I am not autistic. But because of this, I'm extremely uncomfortable with people even joking about my mental health or things I may or may not have. I'm in a friend group of 4 other people, and it's not something that's ever been an issue. One of them knows about my childhood and mother as one of them grew up with me. Lately one of them, Leah, has been on a kick of saying everyone is autistic. Your autism is showing, or that's just part of being autistic. The others don't mind those jokes directed at them, which is fine. That doesn't bother me at all. But yesterday we went to lunch, and I took pickles off of my sandwich, and another friend joked that I was being too picky. But Leah chimed in with, "That's just because he's autistic." When I asked her to please not call me autistic, she asked, "Why? It's not like I'm wrong." I told her I'm uncomfortable with people assuming about my mental health, and she just told me I'm disgusting for acting like being called autistic is an insult. My one friend is saying I was right to set a boundary, but I've been getting texts from the other two asking me to just apologize. So I want an outside perspective to see if I really am an asshole for asking her not to call me autistic. When did your tism is showing replace, I'm just a little OCD, as the sandwich board people wear to advertise that they're idiots and don't understand mental health. Not the asshole. Your friends suck though. Not the asshole. Leah is toxic. You apologize? For what? For asking her not to bully you? The people suggesting that are mistaken. Some friends. You should see more of friend number 1 and think about losing number 2, 3, and 4. I'm glad to see you standing up for yourself. It's not always easy. Not the asshole. Leah is wrong. It is insulting to insist that someone is something they are not, even if the thing isn't negative. Don't apologize for not letting someone make fun of you. That's ridiculous. Not the asshole. I'm autistic. She's being an asshole. If you've been assessed and determined not autistic, she's armchair diagnosing you. Tell her that she doesn't know more than the psychiatrist that assessed you and determined she is wrong, and if she continues giving you a diagnosis you won't continue to be around her. Then follow through. I have 2 autistic children, one affected more socially and the other verbally. People who aren't professionals have no business diagnosing anyone in that way. I would never tell anyone, in spite of 25+ years of raising autistic young people, that they are autistic. I'm not a professional, I'm just a parent. I'm sorry your friend is treating you this way. You aren't a bad person for not wanting a label that isn't accurate. Honestly, this friend, Leah, doesn't seem like much of a friend. Not the asshole. You set a clear, and very reasonable, boundary and your friend refuses to accept it. Mental health isn't something to joke about unless everyone is comfortable with the jokes. AITA for riding in the back seat of my car on my way to pick up my children from school? Am I the asshole for riding in the back seat of my car on my way to pick up my children from school? Truly, I can't imagine myself being the one in this case, but I'll take it if that's the verdict. I simply wanted to sit in the back seat with my 2-year-old daughter and watch a movie with her. My husband was in the front, tasked with driving to the after-school pickup line. When I couldn't get her requested movie to start, he called me up to the front, where I politely declined, citing that I never get to do this with her, or get to sit in the back seat in general. I let him know that in between then, and when the boys needed to be picked up, that I would hop in the front to make the pickup process seamless. This apparently went in one ear and out the other, as he said what I was doing was nonsensical and going to cause unnecessary hardship in the pickup process. He went on to say that I would force the boys to climb over me in the back, but that it was okay if that meant I could get my chance to be the focal point in all this. I told him that he was the only person on earth to talk to me like this, and he retorted by asking why I have such difficulty accepting any criticism backed by logic and rationality. I proceeded to remind him that this was all over me sitting in the back seat of a car for a few minutes. It should not have managed to elicit such a situation that pushed me to the point of tears. I fear I may be the asshole for not getting in the front. AITA. Information to allow for a more informed decision. Dude is definitely neurodivergent. Our 3 sons are proof of this. He relayed info that he was more expecting me to switch seats the moment the children got in the car, not before like I was intending. We've been together 10 years, having met when I was in high school at 18 and he was 24. Not the asshole. Your husband, on the other hand, sounds like a controlling AH. Instead of crying about it, you need to tell him to STF you. You're not a child, and he's not the boss of you. This is what abusers do. They nitpick everything you do and make you feel wrong about so many silly things, that when they do something horrible to you that absolutely crosses the line, you don't recognize it. The expected logic and reason response from a complaining man. He's rational, you're emotional, and your reaction to him is suddenly as nonsensical as your choice to sit in the back seat with your toddler, something you said you rarely get to do. Of course, not the asshole. He's just being horrible and justifying it by claiming he's the rational one. None of this makes sense to me. Why would he be upset that you were sitting by your 2-year-old? How many times did you have to ask him to get up to pick up his own kids? I just know you had to. Not the asshole. I am curious why you and your 2-year-old had to go with your husband to pick up your sons, but sitting in the back seat isn't that weird. Not the asshole. Neither is your 2 years old. The guy in the front seat, however.